Okay, so we're going to cover 11.9 density here today. And yeah, this is your science lesson of math here. Some of you guys have done a lot with this. Some of you have done way less with this, but we're going to talk about density. We're going to talk about density based on area and density based on volume. So that's why we're in this unit here. Okay, let's not please. Density is the measure of the quantity of some physical property per unit of length, area, or volume. So one example of density is population density. So if you think about the idea of population density, measurement of population per unit of area. So like Chicago has a higher population density than Metamora because there's a lot of people living in very small spaces. Here we have a lot of people spread across more places. So population density is calculated for states, major cities, other areas, based on data collected from the U.S. Census. So we have here density is equal to the number of objects divided by the area. So if it's population density, the number of people divided by the area that they have to take up. Okay, so that's the idea of your density there. If you're looking at something with your volcanoes here, the country with the largest number of active volcanoes is Indonesia with 147. The area of Indonesia is 735,400 square miles. What's the density of active volcanoes in Indonesia? So you take the number of items that are there. Okay, so it says 147 active volcanoes, and you divide by the area. So they give you the square miles there. You would divide by that. Anybody want to take a guess without typing in your calculator? So which one that is?
B.
Okay, so the answer is A, but I like that you were at least down to A or B, okay? I'm glad that nobody said C or D. So the answer is A in that one, if you were to divide that out. So not very many, but compared to what some places would have, like the United States, that's more than what we would have, okay? So that's population density in there. The next one is of a duck pond. Gotta have fun with these. So for a school carnival game, Adeline is planning to fill a pool with water and float a layer of numbered rubber ducks on top. She knows that it takes 25 rubber ducks to fill 1 square foot of area. The pool used for the carnival has an area of about 7 square feet. How many rubber ducks should she buy to fill the pool? What do we think? What? 175 is correct. How'd you find that? Real simple.
7 times 25.
There you go. 7 times 25 in that case is what you're going to do to find that. So you have that area, you have the number of ducks there, and you're going to buy 175 of them because you want to fill it. Okay. Population density, on the other hand, we have Philippines here, is one of the most densely populated cities on Earth. It's 1 million residents, approximately. Share a space that can be approximated by a rectangle that is only, think about this, 5.1 miles long by 2.9 miles wide. Okay? People run 5 miles. Okay? So, it's not that big, right? And there's over 1 million people. Over 1.5 million people. Okay, to the nearest person, what is the population density of Manila? So in this case, you are just simply taking the number of residents, 165,000, and you are dividing by the area. So in this case, you can find the area, but you can also just look at it as it's a rectangle, 5.1 times 2.9, and you can set that up. Your calculator does a lot of math for you where you don't have to do anything in between. And it's going to come up to over 110,000 people, okay, per square mile in that one. But that's what you would type in, okay? So the number of items divided by the area. And you're going to be finding areas today with those. The second piece of today's puzzle is density based on volume. Okay, so density is the measure of the quantity of some physical property per unit length, area, or volume. If 2 objects have the same volume but different masses, the object with the greater mass will be denser. So you have your density is equal to the number of the weight, or whatever that happens to be, divided by volume. Density equals mass divided by volume. If you know that, hopefully you do. If you don't at this point, learn that, okay? But density equals mass divided by volume, and we can solve for any one of those 3 pieces, okay? And that's what that one's getting into. So I'm going to leave it at that. You guys can work today because I think you know how to use that formula. Hopefully you do. Science has taught you something. And you can work today on these problems. It's not super long, so it should be pretty quick. And we'll go from there. Let me know if there are questions today. We do have our